So it is time up. We can so we begin the session, sir.
Yeah, we can start.
So Badri sir,
Shall I introduce myself?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Good morning to everybody. I am Raj Segran. I am a retired Joint Commissioner of Income Tax. And after retirement, I have taken to developing the senior citizens movement. As a result, I formed this Tamil Nadu Senior Citizens Association, which has about 3,000 life members as of date. It has been in existence for the last 33 years. I've been its secretary for the last 24 years. So I have had some exposure to senior citizens' problems and what can be done to them to alleviate their grievances. I am very glad to participate in this meeting sponsored by Dr. Suresh and supported by Dr. Badrinath Matharu. And we are glad that they are also looking into the aspect of mental health for senior citizens. That is a very matter of serious concern for senior citizens because generally after crossing 60, there is some deterioration in their brain strength. I'm told that the brain shrinks. It develops what is called dementia and it progresses into Alzheimer's and all that. Of having memory clinics and consulting doctors how to maintain good health, mental health during this old age. Normally, there are various methods suggested because this degeneration of the brain is almost normal and everybody is affected. I once had the experience of knowing about Dr. Radhakrishnan, our past president of the country. He lived in Mylapore and in his morning walk, he walked out of his house and along the Edward Elliott's road. He was not wearing his customary turban, and so very few people recognized and said, "What are you doing here, sir?" "No, I don't know my way to home," he said. So he guided his home, which was only in the adjacent street, and then it came to light that even Dr. Radhakrishnan, such an eminent person who had such a gifted brain, was affected by this dementia and lost his way. So if it could happen to Dr. Radhakrishnan, it could happen to everybody. That's what I felt. So and doctors can do very little about it, I suppose, except that in the beginning, you can be advised about some measures to strengthen your memory and not lose interest in life and keep yourself active, take to exercises and so on. So that keeps you, if you are alive and active and participating in the community, then perhaps the degeneration is not that much. That is what the doctors advise. Anyway, I'm here to get the advice from Dr. Suresh and others who have been specializing in this subject, who are eminent persons with high qualifications and eminent experience. So we'll understand what is to be done about this general problem of dementia, of memory loss, and what can be done about it, how to prevent it, or if it occurs, how to try to cure it and not be a victim of it. So I have lost connection. I think I'm back again. So that is one aspect. That is in the normal times, we we have to see that we don't lose our memory very soon. Not only memory, we have so many problems on setting on us at that time. One is the physical weakness. Second is financial weakness. And third is you lose your connectivity with the society. Social contacts become less, and you fall into depression, isolation, neglect, and exploitation, and all that. So the senior citizens are faced with a number of problems after becoming 60. I've been seeing that in my daily activity. Many people come to me with various kinds of problems, and sometimes I'm able to guide them, but sometimes it's so complicated that we'll have to seek the advice of psychologists, psychiatrists, and so on. So that is the situation as far as the normal times are concerned. But in a distressing time like this COVID-19, where the elders are, not only the elders, everyone is forced to stay at home. Staying at home, it seems to be a very easy thing to do, but really it's fraught with so many difficulties and problems because we are all not accustomed to staying at home. And we are only a part of the day we stay at home. But if you have to be there all the 24 hours, then it creates a lot of problems. And senior citizens are the most affected, I would say, because in addition to the usual neglect, they get isolated. They are unable to connect with the others. And so, what is to be done? Of course, they can keep themselves safe and sounded safe. But then the urge to go out, mix with people, and breathe the fresh air, that is always there. Sometimes they do it and they get into problems. They follow the advice of washing your hands, keeping a physical distance from others, and wearing a mask and all that. And sometimes it doesn't prove to be enough. So we want to take the advice of some experts to tell us how to manage this kind of situations. Uh, as we go on, we discuss. I'll add my inputs. I'll ask Dr. Suresh to take over and conduct the proceedings.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for just sharing your experiences and how you started that Senior Citizen Association. And you are heading that association for 23 years. It is an amazing thing. And you know that the reality, problem, what they are facing it. And you highlighted that the memory problem of Dr. Radhakrishnan and what are the personal, physical, and other components. And definitely, I'll try to connect my experience with that. And before going to that, there are Dr. Subhasri is here. I would like to ask her to give a few words regarding that. Mental health of senior citizens is my senior and my colleague. I will take my presentation for 40 minutes. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself. Can you give a few words about mental health? Why we have to give importance to mental health of senior citizens?
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Thank you, Dr. Suresh. It's an immense pleasure to know. We all are going to become an senior citizen in life. It's not actually anything. Like, we all know how important. We are now pride and saying that India is having population. India is having so much of youth population, working population. And if you really look into after a few decades, just 2 or 3 decades, we will have a lot of senior citizens. And the kind of lifestyle we all are heading is really a threat for all of us, because talking very composedly and who are very talking with a rich knowledge and who are talking about their lives is not there among the adults who are here now at present. So it is going to be even a turbulent and also job for these future senior citizens. So the preparedness is very important. Is, of course, they undergo aspects of aging, socio-cultural aspects. Everything they are going through, but all the to them at, well in advance to prevent themselves. So this is one of the forum I think is well thought of to decide on the positive strategies. And because these are, if you read, simple terms, they may not understand. How to read them awareness why we are doing like this. What is the essential right now? And also, I really wanted not just senior citizen to attend this program, even their own family members and those who are taking the care at home must actually attend this program to at least be aware of what is going on. I remember one of the movie of Shivaji Ganesan, and there with an great in the movie. Shivaji will be the entire family, and he will be one of the sole person family to take care. And his son got into some trouble, and he saves. And later on, he will be elderly home. So he has been given a small plate, and this is for you to eat. He says, Shivaji Ganesan says, this plate keep it with you also because your son may give it to you. So this is a kind of an very importantly, I could feel that lot of youngsters are not aware of. We will also come across the stage in life, and we should be aware of lot of social distancing, negligence, and single child வச்சிருக்கவங்கலாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறாங்க. காரணம் இந்த empty nest syndrome னு ஒன்னு இருக்கு. People are going abroad and settling down there, and I could see a lot of senior citizens are staying in homes and really finding it very difficult to cope with the loneliness. The loneliness during the early years of childhood, the same way it affects the elderly. So we have to address this and create awareness. Thank you so much for Dr. Sudesh for giving me this opportunity to peep in, and I really agree. I also in another forum I met him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Subarna, for our experience sharing and few words about senior citizens. First, I'd like to place my sincere gratitude to Dr. Rajasekharan IRS, sir, that President, Central Secretary of Tamil Nadu Senior Citizen Association, and Dr. N. Badri is the founder of MELA, giving that opportunity to share my learnings with you all here. And this program was planned long back. We took around 1 month to discuss about these things. I would like to give an outline about what are the components I'm going to discuss with you. One is what is the common problem of senior citizens in the world. So for that, I have gone through different resources and research findings. Okay, that is in one area. I'm going to tell about what the research findings were. And second one is there are many components are there. In my presentation, I'm going to cover only mental health component. In mental health component, we are looking into two components. One is what we can say that organic, the brain, how it is impacted our mental health. And second one is how our positive practices in our positive lifestyle will make impact on our life, mental health. So these are the two components I'm going to talk. And there is one of the important practice. I think many of us, we may not aware about the importance of it. And what is that? How we are going to use it in our life, how that will impact our mental health. So these are the components I'm going to present today. I will tell you. My first question, in front of me, when I getting this topic, to talk about that mental health of senior citizens, I gone through the different research article and then reports submitted by World Health Organization, and they given that list of problem faced by senior citizens, as are rightly mentioned about. when come to the health component, one of the important components is Alzheimer dementia. Forgetting is a common memory problem, is a common one among the elderly population. But when come to mental health, so what is the major problem they are facing? And the top three I took it. Top three. One is on depression. I think I never thought that depression will be faced by senior citizens because they are having a lot of experiences. They know how to engage themselves in different activities. When you are not engaging in any activities, and definitely that leads to depression. But I found that one of the leading problems faced by senior citizens around the world is on depression. Then only I come to know that there is another finding of WHO, World Health Organization. They said that the most depressed country in the world is in India. So that means not only senior citizens are prone to depression, they are experiencing, or they are not able to cope with depression. Even young population in India also facing depression. So there is a distinction between youth and elderly population, but in general. And after depression, psychological component, when you look at that as Dr. Subhasri ma'am rightly pointed out, that what they say, loneliness is the second leading problem they are facing. Loneliness. No one is there to listen. I think you all may know that a story. Once an elderly senior citizen who had a mobile phone. It was a newly bought a mobile phone. He went to the mobile shop and gave it to him. Can you please check that I'm not getting any mobile call? And he verified and looked and everything. He opened and looked into that different parts of the mobile phone. He said everything is right, sir. But why I'm not getting the call? The loneliness is the second leading cause for many mental health problem of the senior citizen. And third one, what they are saying. Third one is about facing thoughts. Negative thoughts. So third one, the very important problem the senior citizens are facing is an unwanted thoughts. Negative thoughts are surfacing. Okay, cognitive biases we can say. And these are the three common problems we are facing as of now. Even when you take the different theories, many of you psychologists may be here, they may agree with me. So one of the theories are Erik Erikson's theory. You can see in the elderly population, you can take, there are two types of elderly populations will be there. The one kind of elderly population, they understand that the reality. Okay, they engage, they play with grandchildren. They are more connected with grandchildren rather than their children. Because even they are senior citizens, they thought that, for example, even 60 years or 40 years, their son is son only. So they want to give instruction to them, but they are not able to accept what they are saying. They want to play the role of the elderly adult role. So here the conflict will come. And as I said, there are two types of senior citizens. One, they will engage with grandchildren and they lead a life very happily. And another type of, they may not have the conflict between the adult of their children and maybe son-in-law or daughter-in-law may be the cause for their trouble for them. And even if they are getting pension and they want to, I think many incidents, I think Sir also said that, many of them, they are only, if they are the family members, they come to know that they are getting benefit from that senior citizen, they are keeping, or they are providing adequate facility to them. Otherwise, they are not taking care of it. Many of the families, the studies are saying, okay, how to address these three common problems? One is, as I said, depression, loneliness, and another one is negative thoughts. So why we are getting, these are the three common problems. We will come to the scientific component. One is about brain. Okay, and the second one is about and the lifestyle practices. Okay, what is the role of brain? I think Sir is rightly pointed out that even Radhakrishnan had a problem that the Alzheimer or dementia, he is not able to recollect where I am and where I have to go. So he's stuck in that, even the very popular post. And here, there are many people who are having the myth, even I too had a myth, that once brain cells are degenerated, we cannot regenerate, but it is wrong. It is wrong. Even there are many studies where recently they've proven that is called, for example, someone is addicted to drugs. Just imagine, someone is addicted to drugs or addicted to some other substances. Okay, all some other things. And if they were, we are having the program called rehabilitation program. Okay, making them to normal. Likewise, like recent days, there are many Yale universities are pioneer in that component. What they are doing, brain rehabilitation. Brain rehabilitation can be done at any time, anytime. And they have done more than 85,000 scans, and then they gone through the report. And what they found that the brain damage, that means the fast degeneration of neurons. Neurons mean brain cells. It has happened when we are not having that proper lifestyle. That means healthy lifestyle, if no one is following, then there is a high chances are that the prefrontal cortex that is responsible for our most of the working memory. I think for memory we are having three regions in our brain. We have to understand we are not having the dedicated place in our memory. There are three regions. I will tell you. For emotional memory, it will be there our limbic system, emotional memory, and for long-term memory, it will be the hippocampus. And for working memory, for example, I'm here, where I'm here, you have to process it. Now that will happen only in the prefrontal cortex. And dementia and Alzheimer will happen only because of there is the fast degeneration of brain cells and neurons in your prefrontal cortex. Okay. So when you, as I said, the drug addict, we are having the rehabilitation program. Likewise, recently, I think I can say 2018 onward, there is a program offered in a different Yale University, which is main focus is on rehabilitation of brain rehabilitation studies. What they have done, they took a scan of the people and then they found that, okay, these were degenerated and they given that rehabilitation for the brain, giving that adequate energy to the brain and the brain food items. And then, as I said, processing were improved. And after, I think, 4 to 6 months, they found that the new cells were formed. New cells were formed and the brain has the prefrontal cortex images declined. So these are the strategies we can adapt, but it is an experimental level. But the only thing I can say, don't skip your breakfast. Take adequate energy for your body. That is the only, and they given that many strategies. One of the strategy, if you want to take care of your brain, you want to delay your dementia or Alzheimer, only thing, take adequate energy. Why? We may ask a question, why we have to take adequate energy? I'll tell you. Our brain part, even you may be weight of 80 kg or 70 kg or 90 kg. In our whole body, the 2% of your body is in your brain. 2%. Just imagine that I'm a 70 kg. My brain weight will be 1.400. 1 kg and 400 kilogram is my brain weight. It is an average human weight. But if my weight is an 80 means and 1 kilo and 600 grams, it is in proportion. But when you look into that, only 2% of our brain is taking 20% of energy we are facing in our body. Even if you work it or not, I think for physical exercise, you need to move here and there. For that, you need an energy. But even your brain, you are sitting idle. You are not moving anywhere else. But you will thinking, your brain will working even when you are going to bed. So that continuously need energy. That's why it is taking 20% of energy. When you are not having that adequate energy, what it will do, what they found, the researchers found that if the person is not having that adequate energy, it eats brain cells to get energy from eating brain cells itself. So where it starts, it starts from the prefrontal cortex. So when we are not having that adequate energy, your brain needed more energy. So I think we were aware about that when we were studying about in 6th standard itself, the brain cells. So animal cells are plant cells. We can find out there is one place called lysosome. One of the part in brain cells is on lysosome. Lysosome is an energy. When you are not having that adequate energy, it will take it from the likewise in your brain. If it is not getting adequate energy, it will take energy from the brain cell itself because it eats by another brain cells. That's why when you are really care about yourself, don't skip any food especially in the morning time, the breakfast. After have that adequate diet, you can have. Need not to go for more than what you required, but you have to take the required food items. That is one compound. I will tell you. We are having that complaint from many of the senior citizens that I'm getting only negative thoughts. Okay. So why they are having actually, I will give one thing is, I have done many things to my children and my relatives, but no one is caring about me. So these are the thoughts will be there. I'm saying very few components. Why these thoughts are there? Because they expected that I given to him for 100 rupees. Instead of his need not giving back the money, at least he can thank me. He is expecting those from that, the people who are getting help from the senior citizen. But unfortunately, most of the people are intentionally or unintentionally, they are not giving importance to thanking the people what they are getting. The gratitude. So one of the positive mental health practices on gratitude. Okay. And if we are not getting adequate gratitude or recognition and appreciation from others, that will lead them to be selfish. When we are selfish and we will having that more thinking, okay, if I do, they may think about unwanted racing thoughts will come. I say the third important biggest problem of senior citizens are negative thoughts, racing thoughts. And fear of death will be surfacing among the people, especially the senior citizens. When they are having the racing thoughts, suppose if they are having that small illness, which is not it can be controlled, but that small illness can also lead them to think about the fear of death. Unwanted thoughts will be surfacing among them. They want what others will think that how I can manage myself. So, excuse me. Manogar, can you please mute your mic, sir? Thank you. I can able to see speaking. And I will continue. And so I given that two components. I move on to that one of the important factors we can do for your better mental health. What is that? One I says life. You all know that lifestyle. Changing your lifestyle, you can make it. I think I'm getting up in the early morning, meditation, breathing exercises, walking. These are the things. I don't want to go into that. When you do that, what are the benefit I will give from the scientific perspective? When you do exercise, when you have that adequate sleep, and when you are happy with your circle, that environment, there are three hormones are responsible. Okay, when you are having that when you had an adequate sleep, there's a hormone called melatonin. It will be secreted when you sleep minimum 6 hours. In the elderly population, 4 to 5 hours have to sleep, and you must be there in the dark room. So it will be secreted. If you have adequate secretion, and you can may not bother about it. You will not feel fatigue in the morning. And second one is when you do that small exercise, physical exercises, moving one place to another and then doing simple stretching exercises, endorphin will be secreted. When you are getting sweating, that means endorphin is secreted in your brain. Endorphin is a painkiller. Mostly you can see that senior citizen and elderly population, they are complaining about pain, joint pain is there, my body pain is there. Why they are experiencing these things? Because they are not having that adequate secretion of endorphin in the body. So endorphin will be secreted only if they are physically active. Many people know, no, I'm feeling very pain if I do walking. And that again will trigger or multiply your pain what you are experiencing. And another one is why we have to surround with other people. As I said, when we are elderly population, we human beings are social animals. We must interact. I think there are some of your friends are there, and you may find that when you talk with them, you feel more comfortable. Find those. Age is not a matter. That's why when you look at my senior, most of the senior people, they are very close to that very grandchildren, because they feel more comfortable and they like their children. I think every one of us, we are having the children, and you can make the children to play with it. When you find another children, you can also play with the children. When you do that, when you connect with other people, and there's another hormone called oxytocin will be secreted. So these are the three hormones. We are having adequate level of secretion. Now, for example, you may think that if I'm not having adequate secretion of these hormones, what they will do, you will get a painkiller. Painkiller, what it will do? Artificially, it will stimulate secretion of endorphin from your body. Artificially, it will stimulate. As I said, naturally, you can able to do that. Why we have to go for artificially? And one more thing, when you are, for example, just when you prick here in my hand again and again, and one point of time, my brain cells will be like cancer cells. Okay, this person will be pricked again and again. I should not give importance to healing at a particular part. So likewise, here also, when you are externally take painkillers, and your body natural way of secretion of endorphin will be cut down, and then it will not secrete. You need it. I think many of you know that psychologically, when you go to new places, we may not get sleep for at the beginning sometime. Where we are more comfortable, that we feel more comfortable sleep. So likewise, when we take care of our mental health, we have to take care of these things also. And there are many practices out there. I'm going to share with you one of the important thing. The senior citizens must do that. What is that? Can you please anyone guess me? What is the important thing as a senior citizen or elderly population they have to practice right now? What may be that? There are many components of that. When you look at that in positive psychology, they given that even when the lockdown was announced, I just did a research to find out what are the positive mental health practices. When you say psychology, means okay, these are the people they are talking only about that illnesses of other people, and they are giving medicine to that illness, the therapy to the illness. No, but when the positive psychology pursues, okay, preaching, okay, so I'm getting answers. Any other guess? There is an one way. Any others? Yes. Can you please guess what is the best strategy or thing they can adapt for taking care of that mental health? I'll give one clue. I will give you. Yes, PPT is there. I will share you to the presentation now. The main cause of mental health. Who is a healthy person, mentally healthy person? Chanting, okay, good. Walking, as I said, it is an. I'm not talking about walking. Yes, sir. Being religious, okay, religious also making sometimes unhealthy also. Sleep, okay, that I told. Other than generally, they can practice when they were aware. In conscious time, they can practice it. What maybe? Yoga, okay.
No, it is said.
Yes, sir.
It is said, I'll tell you. It is
Yes.
said that you have a healthy mind if
Yes,
if it is in a healthy body.
you
So
very
a healthy mind and a healthy body is the slogan.
yes,
You
yes.
maintain your body well, your mind also becomes well.
Really.
There are so many things you can do, and especially in the old age, which helps you to maintain your health.
Yes. Yeah.
The mental stress will automatically go away. So
Very
don't encourage any kind of stress. Be
true.
in your peer company most of the time. Even while walking, you go in the company of other elderly persons to keep
Yes.
company with you.
Yes,
It is
sir.
said that even if you want to go to a barber shop or do some shopping, go along with your friends. So that eases the stress involved in the process. So I
Very
think the slogan that we can say, keep your mind healthy. To keep your mind healthy, keep your body healthy first.
lovely, sir. Lovely input, sir. I'm really agree with you. At the beginning, I said one of the important things we have to go for exercise, and that will increase our secretion of endorphin. That will take care of one of the important component for mental health. I think we are healthy. Just imagine, sir, we are healthy people, and we can say that there are. I think you all know that there is one of the Hollywood actor, very famous actor, who commits suicide. Even Kollywood also recently. The reason is the only thing is the depressed. Why they are depressed? I will give there are few thoughts are ruminating in their mind again and again, and which may not have the excuse me. Yes. I will have to,
Darling, it disturbs.
yes. So I will tell the important thing. I will give one clue for that. Just imagine that. So most of the Just imagine that I'm a healthy person. Okay. And even I'm a healthy person, I'm not, when my family members are saying that, why you are not feeling good? Why you are thinking unnecessarily? What may be the cause for that? Because I expected something from others. If I'm not getting those things from the expected thing, that will be just making, just think about it. And the thinking will be goes like a very small one and a bigger one. The small issue will become a very bigger one. What we can say that, I can say that practice we can make it forgivingness. So I'm going to talk about, there are many strategies are there. I'm going to talk about two strategies only. One is on forgiveness and another one is gratitude. How you can practice these two for healthy people. If you're having that walking and other, if you're having the bodies, you feel that more comfort. And when, these are the two things you can practice for your better mentally. One is on forgiveness, share my screen with you all. And yes, I hope you can able to see my screen. Okay, thank you. So how we can practice and why forgiveness is very important for us. And one thing, this is a famous quote. I felt it's important for us to understand that practicing forgiveness. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is an attribute of the strong, said by Mahatma Gandhi. The quote I like very much. When you look at that, we may have a lot of persons. Why we have to forgive? Because the person was done a mistake. The person was done a wrong thing to me. Why I have to forgive? That person must get a punishment. I'll give one recorded incident. You all know that serial killers, like in Natu Sangar in Tamil Nadu, there are many serial killers out there. Likewise, there are one serial killer in USA, Green Mile serial killer. Green Mile is a space. No. அரை மணி நேரம் சொல்லிடுங்க. நான் கிளாஸ்ல இருக்கேன். Sorry for the interruption. Subha ma'am, are you there? Hello?
I am here, Suresh.
Ma'am, can you please take care? I have to take my car and then I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Oh, thank you.
Madam. Subhasri madam.
Hello. Hello.
Going on?
Everybody is
Hello. Hello. Hello.
You please,
Your meeting is
no,
going.
we are only hearing hello.
Meeting is going on. Are you able to hear me? I am Dr. Subhashri here. I kindly ask everybody to kindly mute yourself, please. Madam Geeta Rani, please mute yourself. Thank you. Are you able to listen my voice? Hello, I am Dr. Subhashri here. Is that you are able to hear my voice?
Yes, madam, please proceed.
Thank you. I request all of you to kindly mute your audio so that it doesn't interrupt in between. Thanks in advance. So I was talking to you in between, I think the audio was cut. The forgiveness is one of the very important aspects in life to be followed by every part of your life journey is, very importantly require that kind of an act. Why it is important is most of the time we bother too much about others' mistakes. For example, we may be angry with someone, somebody would have hurt you, somebody would have really created an harm. That is fine that time if you really feel that it is really hurtful. If you're able to assertively deal that at that point, and you are able to tell them that I'm feeling hurt, that's fine. You have already sorted out. If you keep on thinking about that, it is not going to make any change in your life. Rather, it is going to it's going to really damage your emotions right now. It will create a kind of a mess, and it will create a kind of an horrible feeling who are living at present rather than what has actually happened, which we cannot change it, which we cannot actually have a control over it. So it is better to forgive those kind of people who have done some mistakes. And it is not something we cannot say that I am not spiritual enough to say, if as Jesus Christ said that if you are somebody slaps you, just show the other cheek to slap them so that they, it is not that I am not that spiritual, or you may think that it is not possible that way, but you can actually mentally and also psychologically detach yourself and say that they are very ignorant, or they are that much only are aware of others' feelings. So you can just give them and forgive, forgiveness. Just feel that this person is not going to harm me by doing any act because I'm not carrying it very personally. So that is very essentially we need to practice. For example, a small child is doing some mistake. Will you take it? You will say that is a small child, out of ignorance it is doing. The same child is grown up, and the person is now adolescent, and if something is doing, you will say that they are we call it in Tamil rendungatta. They are not knowing what is it is going to impact us, and they are doing just like an impulsive behavior, and we should not carry away. If you have seen an adult is behaving towards a parent like that, you must know that the person has gone through, but the same person is an adult and matured enough, but at the same time they are behaving like this, means they're aware of it, but they are doing, means is it worth to talk about that and tell them and change yourself, because they know what they are doing is a mistake. If they don't know about it, then we can change. If they know wantedly they are doing, you can assertively say it hurts me, please don't do this to me. You can say that, because your emotional health is in your hand. Never allow anyone to get into your emotional health zone. Make sure that your boundaries are well defined, saying that I am taking care of myself, I am capable of doing things of my own. Because one important thing is we all brood about what is going on, what has went wrong, all that. Madam Geeta Rani, kindly make sure that other people are mute themselves, because somebody has unmuted your mic and talking. That's the reason people are not able to hear us. Yes, thank you so much. This digital platform is such a kind of an hindrance that we have to really adapt certain rules here. So very essentially, if you really practice this mantra of forgiveness, you are at least happy that at that particular time, you don't actually carry that unpleasant feelings to yourself. That is more important. See, when you touch some beautiful fragrant perfume, that residue of the perfume will be there in your hand for a quite long time. But when you are having touching an unpleasant odor, some perfume or some liquid or chemical, that odor will also stay in your hand for a long time. So prefer to be in touch with the perfume rather than such a kind of an unpleasant odor chemical. I request all of you to kindly unmute yourself. Somebody is talking through the phone. Anita Ram, yeah, there are so many people are on. Please kindly. Thank you so much. Yes. So now, looking at the aspect of forgiveness, one of the very important, you can keep a record kind of. Used to write a diary, or used to talk to people, used to keep a diary and forgive people periodically. Say if somebody says that, if they are not aged enough like me, so let me forgive them. What a big deal it is if it is going to reflect on. So it is very important. Recollecting the bad experience is going to harm you rather than them. So if you keep on thinking about the bad experience or the mistake of others, it is going to create a negative thought process in your brain. It is not going to harm any one of you who has really done that mistake. So keep planting a lot of positive thoughts in you, that just say that I forgive you, though you have done a mistake, though you have disturbed me, though you have hurt you, I chose to forgive you because my emotional health is very important for me. And very importantly, recollecting or harping that kind of a bad experience increase our blood pressure and make lose of our inner happiness. That is the main important things. If you look back your old age and see that your entire lifespan, you should feel happy that the greatest challenging periods I could withstand all the problems, and with a lot of endurance I have single-handedly I have managed, and I could really be happy about it. I could do my best in my life so far. Those things have to be there. Happy memories should be there in your mind. So what could be a very important thing? I should say that there are 5 important treasures in your hand. One is about your body. The body is your health is your priority. Don't compromise on your health for anybody, because as soon as you damage your health, you become dependent, which you really don't want it to in life, isn't it? So far you have been very independent, you really wanted to be independent, so your priority is keep your body healthy and fit, fit to avoid physical dependence. Be fit, go for a walk. Even the legs are paining, it's okay to go for a slow walk for some time, and if you really practice for quite some time, you will feel that there a lot of blood circulation takes place to your entire body and able to regenerate your cells. And they have found that if a person is doing everyday physical activity and kind of an aerobics or a dance or an martial arts or even in kind of an walking brisk walk, helps them to produce new cells in the brain. So that will really prevent us. Number 2 is about the funds. I have seen a lot of people are having difficult situation when they don't manage their money. So I've seen that if you are having a financial crisis or dependence about the finance, then it becomes a greatest challenge for us. So one who is elderly really think about this particular aspect, that is the money management. Money is essential, for meeting all your basic necessities for your health. So your lifestyle has to be taken care by doing. No, you be aware of all this digital kind of fund transferring. Be aware of this Google Pay and transferring money. And more, don't think of keep your money in your bank so much. It is not. It may be probably it may not be your money. Really, I should say that the money kept in banks may not be really yours after some point of time. When it is time to spend, just spend it. Treat yourself well. As you are getting old, it is very essential for all of you to keep yourself very healthy, fit, emotionally well-being. So money is, as much as you are able to spend for people, give them and give it to your spouse, all that is fine. But if your children are grateful, they take care of you, and you are really blessed. If they don't take care of it, spend your money, take care of your health by spending your money. Don't keep it as a savings, so much of money I'm saving for my generation after generation. You have given very good education for them. You have made a very good settlement in their life. They are employed, and they are employed enough, and they are adult enough to take care of their family. Don't think of saving for your next generation or third generation or fourth generation. Let us spend money judiciously for your own health aspects and your emotional health aspects. You feel like giving some money to some voluntary service, and you feel very happy by doing it, please do it. Don't think of somebody will think something about it, because you have every right to spend your money, because your hard-earned money of yours. So keeping it in the bank is not going to keep you pleasure. So spend it judiciously if it is necessary for you to give you a kick of happiness. Please do that. And very importantly, I would like to mention about the other aspect. I said that the fund and the body is the two aspect I covered. And the third aspect is all about the very important aspect in aging gracefully, is about your attachment with your own kith and kins. That is how you are attached with people around, and how you are attached with your own family members. So that is very important. One aspect I would like to mention, as a person who are aged and seen so many relationships, who have grown up, and you have also grown so many people, you have seen up and downs in your family, you have an experience of everything in your life. You have seen the very great time in your life and very worst time in life. It may not be your own experience. You have seen people's experience also. So you would have seen that your own friend is suffering, your own family member or a relative would have been suffering. At the same time, you are so blessed and gifted. There are so many aspects you have to really think in advance and have a detached attachment. That is a very essential aspect to strengthen your emotional aspect, because you know that you have gone through all these in your life. So it is not that I am going to have every time good aspects in my life. There will be bad aspects in my life also. So I need to practice a detached attachment, which is going to help us to think that won't actually harm us, because we know that everybody will go through their time. Everybody will go through ups and downs. So I should not be a kind of a person whom carrying everybody's difficulty in my head. I should know that what is my limitations. At this age, I can do only this. I can only keep this in my mind. I can help you. So I can do only this much. I can only carry this much. I can only burden myself only this much. I can help you. That you need to really be very clear about your own friends and also relatives, as well as your own family members. So detached attachment is one of the mantra I would like to tell you, because there itself you will feel that your expectations are becoming less, because you know that this I can expect from others only because I cannot do more physical work. I cannot contribute more than my capacity like this. So let me have the detached attachment with my family and kith and kin, so that I am not emotionally damaged much. This is very essential. At the same time, you must also have an compassion. That is, the compassion is a kindness, and one who's are willing to live, leave the kind of an live for love and affection at present, enjoying the moment, being very kindful towards people around, even the entire earth and universe around. A person who is really enlightened, I would say that you may be little selfish, because basically enlightenment is spending a lot of me time. You will focus much on your meditation process. You will have a religious practice, or that is okay, your option, that is. Or you can chanting, doing mantra practice, doing some parayanam, Gita chanting, anything you can prefer to do. And very importantly, involving yourself all these process. If you really feel that gives you happiness, do that. Or if you feel that going and spending time with your friends are giving you happiness, do that. Never stop that. And if you feel that your visit to your own family, friends, or sometimes in the afternoon time, and helping them, what you really want, can I bring something from the shop, I am on the way, can I pick up you something on the way, or something, performing an act of kindness every day without an expectation gives you a kind of an happiness. Do that. That is a voluntary service, how much ever you are. So now your president and secretary has told me that 24 years he has been in this, elderly care unit. I mean that the entire senior citizen, Tamil Nadu senior citizen forum has been governed by him, and to so many years he is serving. I would say that he would have a lot of happiness by doing service to people who are really at his age level, who is really suffering, who are really needy. That kind of an happiness is very essential for all of you to keep your emotional well-being very tight, packed. And this is very positive also. When you are doing, you also feel that your positive cup is filled. You feel very happy and light, because you are able to lead a very meaningful, purposeful day. Every day you feel meaningful and purposeful. So that is a very important aspect of happiness. And the other one is, I would like to mention, is the fund I said, and the compassion I said, the body I said is the prior most, and attachment I told you. Compassion also I mentioned. The fifth aspect of a mantra I would like to tell you is attitude. The attitude, the positive attitude to change your own mental and emotional health. If you know, the mind is a miracle mission, you all know that. Having experienced of so many suffocations or sufferings in your life, you would have you would have taken everything. Oh, this is what has happened. This aspect of me has changed because of my attitude. You all know that how attitude is important. I need not tell you. With your rich experience, I should say that you all can write on so many books about attitude. Every day you would have really felt how attitude, a positive attitude, is important for all of us to strengthen ourselves. Keeping a positive attitude, keeping an optimistic attitude, and keeping an hope that and faith that people will do good, people will be good, people will become good. That is very essential. One day or the other, every day, if you have been keep doing something very kindfully, very with a right intention, with the right kind of an attitude, definitely it will change so many people's life. That really gives you, if you really believe in karma theory, you will know that how much important to do a good deeds to get the good feel up for yourself. So that will definitely give you a kind of a satisfaction, meaningful and purposeful in life. And I hope Suresh has joined now.
Yes.
Thank you, Suresh. Continue.
Thank you very much. I think you are a savior most of the time. And today also it happened to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm back. So as I said, one of the important component to take care of our mental health is to practice forgiveness. I can say that many positive emotions are there. That also comes under positive mental health practice. But this one is, when you compare to other component, this one has a huge impact on our mental health. What is forgiveness generally? When someone did something wrong to us, it is our decision to forgive without taking any revenge and holding that anger towards a particular person. So that generally we all know that what is forgiveness. And what others are saying that we may have the many pain. Okay, if someone is hurt by verbally or physically or whatever it may be, the hurt is there, the grief is there. It may be in intensity goes higher, we can see that grief whenever someone is close to us, now no more, then we feel for that. The grief passes. Forgiveness is a natural resolution of grief process. We are having the pain. To come out from the pain, I said in organic in brain, we are having the hormone called endorphin. Endorphin will help us to just manage our pain, to cope our pain. But here, forgiveness is a natural process. It's a natural resolution of grief process. And we have to understand that we are forgiving that person who committed mistake to us or wrong to us, not for their welfare we are forgiving. We are forgiving that person for making the choice for our well-being. For our well-being only we are making the choice of forgiving that person who done a mistake. And generally when that percentage of, how many percentage of people would like to forgive the people who has done a mistake in their daily life? One of the study conducted, they found that 68% of people would like to practice forgiveness today. And 90% of people, they feel that they need to show more forgiveness to fellow people. Okay, the person who has done a mistake, I should forgive the person, but I'm not had a chance to forgive that person. 90% of people who forgot to forgive the person or who were not in the process of forgiving, they feel that yes, must practice forgiveness. And many of us, we are having the confusion between forgiveness and what is not forgiveness. So what is forgiveness? I think generally it's not forgetting. For example, I am the person who done something wrong to you. If you forget what I have done, it's not a forgiving. It's not so. It's not an excusing. It's not a condoning or excusing. For example, my mistake, okay, I'm leaving you this time. There's a warning. The yellow card, when the player in the game, they will show the yellow card and the red card. It's not about excusing that mistake what others have done. It's not about reconciliation. For example, I have done something wrong to you. Okay, you take this. Okay, I've broken your mobile phone. I'm giving my mobile phone. That's not a forgiveness. Forgiveness is your heart. You have to come and you make the decision to forgive the person, 100%. When you do that, there are a lot of benefits are there when you are practicing. When you forgive other people, I think you all agree with me that you feel peaceful in your mind. That's why I said the third important problem of elderly populations in the world, around the world, they are having the rumination of thought or racing thought, unwanted thought will be there. Okay, they may think about that 10 years back, that person who got a benefit out of it, but he's without knowing anything, but he is not recognized. So these kind of things will be there. But when you forgive, okay, this person done a mistake, you forgive, that gives peace of mind. And I think, as I said in the first quote, itself, Mahatma Gandhi said that when you forgive somebody else, you are the strongest person in the world. Strongest person in the world. And there is one more term, is called this huge amount in the field of positive psychology, and flow. Flow means when you do particular activity, you have to immerse in that activity. Forgiving must be spreading love. Who will forgive the mistakes of others? When you have that loads and loads of love in your heart, then only you can able to forgive. When you look at the mother, you have done a lot of mistakes. If she is not forgiving you, then you will be punished by her. But in the beginning days, she may be given a regulation purpose, she may be given few punishment, but later, most of the things, I think when you look back and then recollect all the incidences, you come to know that you were forget. You received a lot of love from your mother. Okay, and you feel more love when you practice forgiveness. And one more thing, when you see the people who is an, you may remember a lot of people in your mind. You think about that. See, I have done a very big mistake to the person, very harder to the person. Even though the person forgive me, who will you remember that? This person or another person? The person who has not done that. You will remember the person we were in that trouble period, conflict period, who support us and then who forgive the mistake what we have done. We remember those people. We remember their character we want to nurture in ourselves. Unconsciously, there are many studies. And look at here, there are two things. As I said, when you forgive others, you will become a diamond. When you suppress the feeling of others, you will become a charcoal. That is a basic different way of understand that. Some people know, I forgive, but they will hold them. And when they were alone and then they think about that incidences again and again. And one more thing, one of the important things, if you are not forgiving the mistakes of others, you will not get proper sleep. You will not get proper sleep. That's why instead of hurting others, we are hurting ourselves. We are hurting ourselves if we are not forgiving other people. And we have to understand that forgiving will not make any change in the past. It will not make any change in the past. But it will make a change in our future. What kind of decision we have to make it? And as I said, when you forgive more people, you will get more number of friends. As I said, elderly, we need a lot of support. And one of the chart box I found that suppose in elderly, we are not having that friends. What we have to do that? When you forgive the mistakes of others, why we are not having the more number of friends? Because we never forgive. Okay, this person has done a word, uttered the word towards me, and you feel that it is wounded you, and you try to skip that person. You will not connect it with that person. If you forgive that person will be with you. Just think about your husband and wife. There are a lot of issues are there. There are many mistakes that are forgiven, and some of them are not done that, even though we were connected. Because when you are more and loads of love, you will forgive the mistakes of others, and their mistakes will be very small one. But if you have less love, you are not loving the person, and your small mistake will be a very big one, and we don't try to practice forgiveness. When we want to connect more people, we have to forgive the mistakes of others. And how we can say forgiveness means simple word. We need not to go that I forgive you, need not to say that I love you. Generally, say that I'm loving you. I care about you. I'm sorry for the mistake what I have done. This is also the way of your expressing our forgiveness. Generally, if you have done a mistake, please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you also one of the important subcomponent of forgiveness. Gratitude is as I said, gratitude is one of the positive emotions. We have to practice forgiveness that includes our gratitude. Includes the gratitude. Okay. Suppose I don't want to forgive that other person. What will happen to me? I think you love the person, the loved person who cheated you. It may be anything that will very hard will be there. If you're holding that grudge, you feel more angry towards the person. Not only that, if any person who exhibits same kind of behavior, same kind of resemblance, then we express our anger and we feel more sad about it, and we are confused whether we have to believe it or other people. When other people are coming, we are more confused. And these when we are not taking any decision to forgive others, so resentment will be there. Resentment means why I have to go for sorry, they have to come. His mistake is also there. Yes, I have done a mistake, but he also done a mistake. He has to come first. Sense of injustice. They want to, for example, and they try to hurt other people. They want to give more trouble to other people directly or indirectly. This kind of thought will be surfacing more and more. Hostility, hurting, vengeance. So I think holding vengeance is I think we are having that hormone called cortisol will be secreted when you hold more vengeance, jealous about others. We feel more bitter about that other people. Whoever comes and then you will get an irritations. You will get more irritations. So that's why I said don't hold that vengeance and grudge now. It will make a lot of problem in our life. See, there are many studies that have proven that not only mental component, when you hold that grudge, that affects our physical system also. Our cardiovascular system will be affected, our nervous system will be affected, we will not get a clear thought, we may not be able to solve our day-to-day life simple problems, and heart rate will be increased, our blood pressure will be very high, muscle tension will be there. So when we are not forgiving others, when we hold the grudge, and these are the physical illnesses we will face. Okay, what are the benefit out of we are getting when you practice forgiveness? There are lots and lots of benefits are there. I think I've given many of them here. We feel that higher satisfaction in life, as I said, There are two types of senior citizens or elderly population will be there. One, people, they are satisfied about their life. Okay, I have done something good for the society. I have done good for my family. I have done good for myself. They feel more higher satisfaction. And at the same time, we can find out other set of people, they are not having this kind of feeling. And when you practice forgiveness, lower the rate of depression. If you lower the depression rate, depression, as I said, common mental health problem. When you forgive, and it reduces or minimizes our depression level. Okay, the two way. One is you are satisfied in your life. Second one is the leading cause of mental health problems and depression. You minimize your depression problem, and it lower our anger level. You will not frequently get anger towards other person who has done mistakes, and it reduces our anxiety. And these were the proven by the different studies conducted by different researchers. Okay, and here you can see that there are many health benefits we can able to get. Depressions will be very low, as I said, and higher self-esteem will be there. For example, if you forgive that person has done many mistakes, even though I have forgiven him, and your self-esteem will be very high. So one of the hierarchy of needs to Maslow. In our everyday life, when you meet our basic needs, food, shelter, and water, we'll go for safety needs. And after that, love and belongingness. Finally, what need? Self-esteem, recognition from other people. When you forgive other people, they will say that, oh, this person, even though I have done a mistake, they forgiven me. You will be recognized. So, self-esteem, higher self-esteem is high among the people, and you will get a more friends, healthier relationship. Not a simple, you are merely having the n number of friends. No, we are having better relationship. They will understand that by seeing your face itself, they will say that, oh, you are not feeling good. So we go somewhere else. I think Sas told me that you go along with your friends. When you are going to that barber shop, you can go with that friends. You just chit chat with that other people. So you will have a healthier relationship. Longer marriages. When you forgive, as I said, if you are not forgiving, there are many divorce cases are there in nowadays. Even for people, word, in front of others, you scolded me. I don't want to make our marriage for longer time. I want to cut it down. Lower blood pressure, less level of anxiety, closer relationship. When you forgive others, okay, this man forgiven, they get a more close relationship. And few stress-related health issues we may encounter when we practice forgiveness. For immune system, there is an only way we can fight against COVID-19. Immune system only. When you forgive others, the studies have proven that our immune system will be increasing. Lower the rate of heart diseases. And we will not depend on other, for example, suppression is on taking alcohol, substance abuse. You will not go for that. You are away from that. And you can see that forgiving people are practicing spirituality and psychological well-being. Greater spirituality will be there. And whoever forgiving, they are, in generally you can say they are more happy. They understand others' feeling. They are more optimistic in nature. They are more compassionate about self, others. When you compassionate yourself, you will compassionate with others. You love yourself, you love other people. So these are the benefit out of just practicing forgiveness. And what are the strategies we can adapt to cultivate forgiveness? First one is make a commitment to reconcile. First thing you have to make a commitment, okay, this thing I have to make a forgive that person. Take a time, for example, you need not immediately forgive that person. Take a time to recollect the event. Sometimes you need a time, okay, I need a 30 minutes to, or I want to take a week. Yes, you can take. And cultivate compassion and empathy. Love yourself, love others, and forgive others. Forgive others, try to practice. And don't have more expectations. When you have more expectations, definitely you will be disappointed. Even we made a mistake. We are not forgiving ours. Take a time for at least 5 to 10 minutes in a day and forgive that mistake what you have done. And suppose if you are not able to practice these things, we can get a help from their field. So here we can see there is he having one of the foundations called the International Forgiveness Institute. When you look at the members, all the members, senior researcher Robert Enright, and he given that how to teach forgiveness among the children. When we teach children or elderly, whatever it may be, when we teach forgiveness, it heals a hurt. Someone is hurted, and then it will heal the hurt, and it keeps peaceful mind in our. And it is one of the important life skills to lead our life better. And here are a few more. Just for example, we have to cultivate it. Maybe children or whoever it may be. First step, what you have to do that, ask the offended child to acknowledge the hurt. Okay, this person hurted me. Just acknowledge it. Address the offended behavior. You have done something wrong to me. And most of us, we are not doing it, but we are forgiving it that people. No, it's not so. When you decided to forgive that person, you have to inform them what you have done to me is wrong. And we have to have a, as I said, we have to take a time. We have to take a time to forgive the people. Sometimes it is we were upset to forgive the other people. Take a time and then forgive it. And when the person is ready, not only the children, whoever it may be, if the person is ready to forgive others, you can ask them, okay, are you ready to forgive? And then you can teach the children. As an elderly, we are the role model to others. We have to assure them. It doesn't, we have to inform them. When you forgive other people, it doesn't mean what they have done is right. It is a way, another way you are making change in your, how you are going to come out from that hurt and anger towards a particular person. And we have to understand that when you decide to forgive others, make sure that they know that it is a decision by them, not by enforced by from others. Maybe in any members in our family. And sometime we may heart will be very wounding. Don't make them to pressurize them to make a decision of forgiveness. Don't force it. Give it time. Give it time, and make them to understand that little bit of time, and then you can find out what are the good things are there. Instead of focusing on the negative about a particular person, think about what are the positives are there in that person. And ask the people how they can change the feeling and how they can make a decision to forgive others. And just spend quality time with others. Here are 10 forgiveness principles given by Dick Davids. I will just quickly accept that life it's not fair. You have to accept that life is not fair. Yes, sometimes you have to face a difficulty in our life. Sometimes we may not. The reality, we have to accept it. Don't blaming others for your circumstance. For example, if you are not having that adequate facility, something, don't blame others. It is because of you. Don't do that. Understand that we cannot change other person to hurt us. We can only change ourselves. We can have only control over us. We can change only our only. And we have to acknowledge that anger. Okay, now I get anger only because I'm not having that practice of forgive. There are many unpleasant and harmful events that will cause that anger and hurt. You have to understand that meaning. And reframe the story of hurt. For example, instead of, okay, if I were there in that place, what I will do that? So imagine just focusing. There is recently in cognitive psychology, there are many people are practicing it. Cognitive reframing. Reframe that situation. Recognize that we are the only person make a chance to forgive others. No one will make a decision. And we have to empathize. Okay, the person may have done, it may be the situation the person may have. That is the reason the person may hurt us. And we have to understand from their perspective, and then we have to just forgive the people. Just stay away from that and intentionally move, disconnect from that. And it cannot be rushed. It take a time. Give a time for taking that responsibility. And final principle, we have to take responsibility for our life and our future. Yes, whether I have to be happy or not, it is in my hand. I have to make a decision. So you all know that by really practicing forgiveness has a huge impact on our mental health, our life satisfaction will be increased, and our depression level will be very low. And we are having that other components like you feel more connected a relationship. So these are the three common problems of elderly population. When you're practicing it and you feel more relationship and you are come out from that problem what you are facing. With that, I can stop here, and then if you have any questions related to that, we will discuss. And you can please unmute yourself. You can ask me a question. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope these inputs are useful for you. You can get the news to your friends and then family members. Thank you. Badri sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Excellent. Dr. Rajshekar, sir. Over to Dr. Rajshekar. Participants may kindly put their questions.
Yeah, PPT will be shared with the Dr.
You may kindly share the PPT.
Yes, sir, I will do that.
Rajshekar. Sir, also, sir.
You want me to talk?
Sir,
Okay. Let him speak.
So, Badri sir told me that he can.
Navin Kumar, is ignorance an alternative for forgiveness? You may
No.
kindly answer the questions in the chat box, Dr. Suresh.
And there are a few comments also. Thank you, Dr. Preeti and Satya. Naveen, as you said, in the beginning itself, I told what is not a forgiving? Forgetting is not a forgiving. Excusing not a forgiving. And it's like ignoring is not also forgiving. You can make a delay for forgiving other people. We decided to forgive other people. Sometimes we feel that the wound given by them is very big, and you take a time to forgive the people. But ignoring is not a forgiving. Yes.
Another question. Is ignoring an alternative for forgiveness?
Yeah, just not. It's not an alternative for forgiveness. Thank you, Abdul sir.
Any questions?
Yeah, I think no more questions, I think, sir. You can.
Sir, Rajshekar, sir?
No, he told you can take care of it, sir.
Can I talk?
Yes, sir. Yes.
No. I just want to revert back to the subject of depression. See, that to overcome depression, the senior citizens need a lot of help. Now, if they are not physically fit and they are confined to the house, they need company and they need a caregiver. So we need to develop a profession of caregivers. Caregivers normally are found in the family itself, but today we can't find ladies available for this purpose. They all go for work. There is nobody at home. So we need a professional caregiver. We have to develop a profession of caregiving, which is there in foreign countries. It's not well developed in our country. They don't know what the art of caregiving is. And they have to be employed. And luckily for us in our country, we could get many people at low cost. They don't have to be paid like a big nurse or a qualified doctor or such thing. They will come for low pay, but they do all the caregiving that is required by a senior citizen. Then we also need counselors. We need a lot of counselors. You heard just now what the psychologists were counseling upon. So many things can be said to the senior citizens. And these are some of what Dr. Suresh said. All those things apply even to senior citizens. So the counselors also are required sometimes when the senior citizens mentally aberrated. So we need to have counselors. That kind of profession also so developed on a large scale. The financial difficulties which senior citizens undergo is another cause for depression. So they have to be cautioned against this even from the beginning. Even before they retire from service, they have to be told what to do, what is called do retirement planning. They have to set aside that money and see that when they are lost their regular income or unable to work, they have a steady flow of income to take care of themselves. That is also necessary. We have to have a. Then Dr. Subha Mali Sri, she made a very comprehensive presentation of all the problems that affect senior citizens, how interaction with other senior citizens, peer group, taking to spirituality, and becoming technologically savvy. In our association, we hold classes to teach operation of cell phones. That is something which senior citizens find very interesting and very needy also about it. They keep on asking how to operate cell phones. They are presented cell phones by their grandchildren and all that. But the grandchildren don't take the trouble of teaching them how to operate the mobile phones. So they come to us and we make them technologically savvy. If some of the senior citizens are able to participate in this event, it's because of their interest in becoming technologically savvy and seeking help for becoming technologically savvy. So that is one aspect we ought to have. And many senior citizens find time hanging heavily on their hands. So they have to be told some pastime activities. It could be even solving crossword puzzles or Sudoku. Sudoku, I don't know whether it is available in Tamil. Then that kind of activity also, it is not available. So we have to develop all those things and help them to spend their time. Then they have to what is called develop some interest in spiritual activities too. Pet caring is another area where our senior citizens have to be engaged. Taking care of dogs, cats, and other kinds of animals, doing some service for them and all that. Volunteering. Volunteering is another subject on which senior citizens can spend a lot of time. I have come across a case where a senior citizen aged about 92 took part in a school event selling cool drinks and popcorns and things like that. He was handling a popcorn stall. That gave him a lot of pleasure. So that kind of activities we have to do. Certainly about this forgiveness, senior citizens are not vengeful. They are always very forgiving. And all these principles, one who practices well is the senior citizen. So I'm glad that we have been able to cover so many points. There are many more, but I want you to give some special attention to what I said about developing a career for caregivers, developing, putting counselors in close touch with senior citizens. These are the two areas I think you can help us. Once in a while, you can come and give us some talks at our meetings. Just now, a person phoned me up and said, "This whatever you have said in this WebEx meeting, is it available? Is it being recorded? Can we have it played back again to us? It is so interesting," they said. I hope you can do that one also. So thank you very much. We have had a very nice interaction and nice talk by the participants. I must thank our Dr. Suresh for all the initiative that he has taken. Dr. Badri Narayan, who virtually dragged me into this. He called me every time and asked me to ensure that I participate and all that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Actually, we got a lot of inputs regarding the lovely inputs, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Badri, sir.
Enjoyed the meeting very well. And caregivers will take up. We will take up the caregiver points and discuss in the next meeting how to develop. It's an important thing. The senior citizens have to take care of themselves in this COVID-19 period because of the immunity level is low. They have to take psychological strength, physical strength. Mr. Rajshekhar, our General Secretary, was repeatedly telling about the mental strength and physical strength. If both are present, we can overcome everything. And ignoring and forgiving is generally present with senior citizens. And almost we have covered everything. And we have lived our life. We have no expectations in the future. We have lived our life, and with our experience, we will guide the youngsters to come up in life. And without any selfishness, let us take care of ourselves. Let us not become dependent. It is every elder citizen's wish. As you say, cesarean is during the birth. There should not be any cesarean during death. It is every elderly citizen's wish. And let us pray to the Almighty to have a peaceful and prosperous life. And let us pray to the Almighty to free us from the COVID crisis at the earliest. Thank you all for participating. My English Learning Academy, Maduradhatam and Yellow Red Font and Tamil Nadu Senior Citizens Association have done a great job today. Hats off to everybody. Thank you very much. I think Dr. Suresh, we will end up relating the concept of Mr. Rajesh.